Yo, what is up, guys? So, I wanted to take the time to explain to y'all this question. Use the limit definition of a derivative to compute the derivative, the first derivative of f of 3 for fx equals 9 over 2x plus 3. Compute the first derivative of 3 directly rather than computing the first derivative of x and then plugging in x equals 3 at the end. So, this, when you look at it, it may not make sense. Now, first of all, you must realize your instinct is going to be to just take the derivative and then plug in 3 at the end, which it does talk about in the last portion of the question. But you must realize it literally says not to do that. I know it's an easier way to do it, but I don't know why sometimes teachers just want you to take it the long way so you can truly understand the short way, you know? It's like, I feel like the logic behind it is, say I know a shortcut to, I mean, if I wanted to, I could chat GPT all these answers, right? That's a shortcut and I would get it right. And I could chat GPT probably every single math question and get probably over an 80 or a minimum 80, you know? Even though that shortcut is there, right? You still don't that doesn't necessarily mean you truly understand the question. Just because you know how to get to the answer doesn't, like, fast, doesn't mean you truly understand it, right? And if that weren't true, then me using AI to get the answer fast, that would mean that I know it, but it doesn't, you know? And obviously there is a difference between using AI and, you know, just taking a shortcut, like taking the derivative of it first and then plugging in. But yeah, so I'm my bad for yapping for this first part, but yeah, let's dive into the actual problem. So you got to know the formula. The limit as h approaches 0 is f of a plus h minus f of a over h. So you need to know that, right? And if you know that, then you can solve this problem. So that's what they're talking about with the limit definition of derivative of a derivative. That's what they're talking about with the definition. So we got f of a plus h. You must realize f of a is whatever is inside that derivative thingy. So you see that f of with the little apostrophe thingy and then the number inside, that is going to be basically the a, right? So for f of a plus h, that's f of 3 plus h minus f of 3, right? So once you put that in, right, so that's going to be f of 3 plus h minus f of 3 over h. You just got to write that out. Write that out, right? Write that out right now, right? This part, f of 3 plus h minus f of 3 over h, right? Now, this is where it's going to get a little complicated. But if you know this, the rest of it is a piece of pie. Or a piece of cake. I don't know why I said pie. So, now that you have this, right, you're going to plug in. So, f of 3 plus h, right? You're going to go back to the original fx function. Fx equals 9 over 2x plus 3. And now you have, what is f of something? That f of something is going to be the f of x you're going to plug into the original f of x function. So, for example, we have f of 3 plus h, right? We're going to go to the original function and literally plug in 3 plus h. So that's going to be 9 over 2 times 3 plus h plus 3. And then you can go ahead and simplify that. Wait, hold on, my bad. My braid's getting in the way. So that's going to be equal to 9 over 6 plus 2h, and then that's going to be plus 3. And then you can go ahead and simplify that, which is 9 over 6 plus 3, which is 9 plus 2h, right? So that's the first one, right? And then you're going to keep the minus sign. And then you're going to go to f of 3. Now I'm going to give y'all some time. Based on what I did to the first one, what do y'all think I should do to this? All right, I think you guys had enough time. So you can pause the video if you want. So for this one, what you're going to do is, since it's f of 3, you're plugging in f of 3. You're plugging in 3 to the x of the original function. That's it. So it's going to be 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 3, which is 9. So it's going to be 9 over 9, which is equal to 1. So it's going to be minus 1. Now you're going to, don't look at the denominator yet. You're going to stay looking at the numerator. So we got 9 over 9 plus 2h minus 1, right? So what you're going to do, right, you're going to go ahead and go over here. So we got 9 over 9 plus 2h, right? And you're thinking, oh, minus 1, how do I do that? How do I... No. Literally, subtracting is the easiest thing in the world. You just need a like denominator. Think back to 3rd grade, gang. You literally need a like denominator. That's it, right? And what you do if you subtract by 1? What if you have 1/3 minus 2? Okay, 1/3 minus 2. Literally, all you got to be like is, okay, 1/3. Okay, so how many times does... Okay, how many times? Okay, 3 times 2, 6. 6 over 3. Bang! That's... So you can do 1 over 3 minus 6 over 3. And that counts because what is 6 over 3? 2! So it's the same thing for this. So what is 1 that has a like denominator of 9 plus 2h, right? Easiest thing in the world. 9 over 9 plus 2h minus 9 plus 2h over 9 plus 2h. Boom. That is equal to 1. And then you're going to subtract, right? So 9 plus 2h minus 9 plus 2h. Now, when you subtract, right, the 9 plus 2h is together, so you kind of have to distribute that minus symbol into the plus as well. So it's going to be 9 minus 9 minus 2h, right? So 9 minus 9 minus 2h. So that's going to cancel out the 9s, and then you're going to be left with a negative 2h over 9 plus 2h, right? And then once you have this, right, you're going to go ahead and this is where you're going to divide by h. So we have negative 2h over 9 plus 2h over h. You're just going to multiply by its reciprocal, which is, if it's divided by h, what's the reciprocal of h? H is h over 1, so it's 1 over h. And once you multiply by the reciprocal, one of the h's in the numerator is taken out, and you're just left with negative h over 9 plus 2h. Right here, right? So this is how I do it. Don't mind my handwriting. So when you do that, right, and then now you're wondering, oh my gosh, what do I do? Plug in. It's literally as simple as that. So then you got negative h. So we already know. Wait. Oh, okay. I made a mistake. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No. It's negative 2h. It's not h squared. So negative 2h, when you cancel a h, the h just goes away completely. So it's negative 2 over 9 plus 2h. And then you put in something, right? So then you put in the 0, negative 2 over 9 plus 2 times 0, and that's going to equal negative 2 over 9. Bang. That's it. That's literally it. When I first looked at this, I'm not going to lie, I was very confused. I feel like a lot of people, when they do math, like me, I'm bad at math. I hate math. But the thing is, right, when you first look at it, of course it's going to be confusing, right? Especially to people like us, to people like me, right? Who don't really like math, and not hate or anything, but like who aren't good with it. We're immediately going to get stressed and all that. No, just got to take a deep breath, right? And don't, honestly, if you can't find the answer, look at the answer sheet. I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of people feel like they have an obligation to find the answer, or to find the answer without the answer sheet. Gang, if you're practicing, the point of practice is to learn what you don't know. How are you going to learn what you don't know if you're trying to pull information out of your mind that you don't have? Like, you don't know. And that's fine. And you could probably think to yourself, oh my God, I should know this. I was in class. I was listening, bro. It's okay. If you don't know it, just look at the answer, right? Look at the answer and then go through it again. Wait maybe a day and then go through it the next day and then the next until you know how to do that question, and do different types of questions too. If you feel like you need to see different types, like not just the same one, then do that, you know? But yeah, but anyways, that is it for this vid. I'm going to try to post more, especially when doing this homework at home. So yeah, we're going to see though. Yeah, peace.